Shopify Inbox is a free messaging tool developed by Shopify. So, of course, it integrates with your store seamlessly, and it allows you to communicate with your shoppers while they're shopping, and you can recommend products, you can offer them discounts. So let's jump into the dashboard, and I'm going to show you step by step how to install it and how to set it up. Let's go.
And so why would you want to add the chat box, right, to your store? And it's because more than ever, we want customer service, right? We want to know that there's somebody behind that thing that we're purchasing. And so with this app, it allows you to be able to have those conversations. And as you'll see, this works whether you're online or not. And we'll see that in just a moment. But you're able to communicate with your customers in a way that emailing back and forth is not going to do, right? And you are able to have cart actions. You're able to give them discounts should you need to. Shopify is the heavy hitter in e-commerce, as we all know that. And so right here, 70% of Shopify inbox conversations are with customers making a purchase decision. Okay, so they're reaching out to you because they want something, right? They want to buy something and they have a question. And for whatever reason, you're not answering it in that product page. And so they want that answer. And that's where this chat inbox comes in, right? You're able to give instant answers, quick replies, order status. All right. And as I said before, if you're not online, you're able to have these messages like this that say, we're offline right now, but we'll be right back, or something like that. And we're going to go through that in just a moment. Okay, so that is why you would want to add a chat box to your store. So it's like having your own customer support team, right? And it's just like a customer support team. Instead of having a 24-hour support team, it's a 9-to-5 support team, right? All they know is that you are available to them, you are accessible to them, and that you're going to answer their question so that they can make that purchase. All right, so let's go ahead and install that. Okay, so I'm at the dashboard of my demo website, and we have to first install the app. So let's go do that. So we'll go to the apps here, and then you can just click in here, inbox, and it'll come up here for you. So we want this one right here. So the Shopify Inbox. And as I said, it is created by Shopify, so it will integrate really quickly. So let's go ahead and install. And then you just look over the privacy details here. And if you agree, add sales channel. We're going to go ahead and continue. And unlike other apps, this app is actually going to be on your sales channel instead of the apps section. So here we go. So here's our sales channel, and it'll be right underneath. So this is where you have all of your online store options here. And so it's going to be right here under the inbox instead of under your apps. The first thing I always do is it's already pinned here. So I like to pin that, which is awesome. It does it for you because I like to have everything here. I don't have to, less clicking, right? Now the app is just as that fast. What was that? Less than a minute. It's already installed and ready to go. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the Shopify Inbox overview dashboard, right? So here you have where messages come in. It'll be here. Then you'll have the chat is on, so you'll have that. So we'll manage some settings here, okay? And then here it'll start collecting data for you, and then you'll have your analytics will appear here within 30 days. And then you have a little bit more information about the inbox, the inbox experience, and all of that good stuff. Okay. All right. So let's begin with chat settings. So here is where we're going to set up the customizations, how it looks, the questions, and all that jazz. Okay. So let's begin here. So with the brand customization. So all of the changes that you make right here in this section, you're going to see it here, which is going to be the chat. This is the chat, and this is how your customers view your chat when they're using your website. Okay, so let's begin. Let's customize it to my demo site. So let's go ahead and apply this to green because we always want to stay on brand. So we'll make that the green. So there you go. You see that green there. All right, beautiful. And then the icon. So you have the chat bubble, which is this one right here. You click on email. So you'll see it's instantly as it changes right here. You have the hand wave. All right. And you can also just have nothing if you don't want it. You want to keep it simple, right? So these are the different icons that you can apply to the inbox. Then you have what it says. So you can have it as for it to say assistance, contact, help, right? So these are the different text options that you have available for here. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave it on help. That'll be fine. Then the horizontal position. So this is where it's going to show up on the website. So do you want it on the bottom right or do you want it on the bottom left? Now, when you're assigning this one, I would think about any pop-ups that you currently have on your website. So if you're going to have a pop-up that says, sign up for my emails or any of that type of pop-up, consider where it's going to come up from. So if those pop-ups come up on the bottom right, then you certainly don't want this, right? Since the customers are most likely going to visit your website via mobile, you don't want to clutter that space. So go ahead and if you have a pop-up, then go ahead and I will tell you to move this button to the left. This button is always going to be on your website and I'll show you that in just a moment, okay? So let's pretend I do have a pop-up. My pop-up is going to come up from the bottom right. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my help here on the left. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put a question mark. And then the vertical position. So this is where you want it to appear on the site. So it's going to be at the lowest, which is right here, or you can make it a little bit higher up. So the spacing is not that much of a big difference, right? So I always want it on the lower left-hand side or lower right-hand side so it doesn't block any information. All right, so this is what it's going to look like to the customer. All right, now let's move on down. So the greeting. So this greeting right here where it says, hi, message us with any questions. We're happy to help. This is where this message is, right? So you can just go ahead and customize this however you like, right? So let's say, what's up, Buttercup? I told you I don't know how to spell, right? I'm telling the world I don't know how to spell. All right. So what's up, Buttercup? That's what I wanted it to say, right? Okay. So, and as you see, I made the changes here and you can see it here right away. So let's go ahead and just save those changes that we've made so far. All right, and then let's come down to instant answers. So the instant answer are the answers to your frequently asked questions. So those are the questions that if you know people are going to ask, if your customers are going to ask, then go ahead and input those questions here. Now, don't put a list of like 100 questions. All right, just keep it simple, 3 to 5 most frequently asked questions, such as what type of shipping do you offer? Do you offer free shipping, tracking order? You can ask anything such as what are your return policies? So anything, any of those questions like that come up. So depending on what you're selling, the questions are different, obviously. So I'm just trying to create some general questions there for you. This is where they will appear, okay? And this is how they appear. Current question says, or track my order, right? So that's the question. And the answer is, to see your order status, please provide your order details, right? So it's going to ask that question to your customer and then your customer will reply with that order, right? So right now the question's already turned on, but let's say you don't want this question, you can just turn it off right here. So it'll tell you it's off. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on. So it's already auto-generated some suggestions for questions for me. So the first one is, what are your shipping details? And the answer is, we offer shipping and 30-day return policy. And also, what is your return policy? So if we want to go ahead and keep these questions, all we have to do is just go ahead and modify it. So what you can do is you can go ahead and just click on this question here. Right? And this is what it would look like, right? What are your shipping details? That's the question the customer is going to click on. And this is the answer here. But I want a little bit more. So if you want to add more details to it or change up the questions, you can do so right here. Just keep in mind the maximum amount of characters that are available here. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn that on. I like that question. So let's go ahead and turn that on and let's go ahead and click save. Right. And then let's go back to the other suggested question, which is, what is your contact information? So do I want that? Probably not. And what is your return policy? I don't want that one, but I do want to create my own question. So let's go ahead and here where it says create your instant answers. Okay, so let's go ahead and say, do you have an email list? So let's go ahead and type that. Then the answer is going to say, let's say, sure, yes, we do. All right, so let's go ahead and just do that. Let's go ahead and turn that on and click on the save button. All right, beautiful. Let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, and let's go ahead and turn that on. That's where I wasn't seeing it. Didn't I just turn it on and click save? All right, maybe it wants you to do it twice. All right, let's just do that. All right, there are my 3 questions, okay? So this is where you would create your questions and then the answers, okay? Okay, so that brings us to the pre-chat form, okay? So in the pre-chat form here, so customers are able to provide their contact information. So if you're offline or you're not finished a conversation and they leave, you'll be able to respond to the email that they have provided, okay? And it also, as you see here, gives you the option of having them opt in to your email list. So this is showing right now the opt-in. So this is, if you don't want them to opt in, they'll provide their first name, last name, and email. And then if you click on this, so it'll opt them to get special promos and updates, okay? And so here as well, you can change that. If you don't want that to say that, you can change that and say, be the first to know of what's new. All right, so that's what it could say, right? But you also want to make sure that they're knowing that they're opting in, right, to our newsletter. So be the first to know what's new, join our newsletter or email list or whatever you want it to say, okay? You can go ahead and customize that to your brand voice, brand tone, all right? So let's go ahead and save that. Now, I did notice that in the app reviews that a lot of people said that there was a lot of spam type of emails that they were receiving. So one way that you can avoid bots spamming you go to preferences. All right, it would be the recapture right here. So make sure that your recapture are clicked and both of them are clicked. And so that hopefully that will help with all of that bot emails that you might potentially receive. Okay, so let's go back. All right, so everything here is ready and set to go. So now we're moving on to your availability as the customer service representative of your website. All right, so we are going to tell your customers what are your hours of operation without giving them the hours of operation, right? So you're not going to tell them available 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. But what this will do is that you're going to set your hours here, and this will go hand in hand with the auto replies. So let's just do this one first. Let's go ahead and start from the end, right? So the automated first reply is automatically turned off. So you want to go ahead and turn that on. And what this will do is that it will, during your hours of operation, so hours of operation as far as your customer, when you will be replying to your customers, this is the message that it's going to give them when you're online, right? Which will determine these hours from here, right? So when you're online, it will give them this message here. And when you're offline, it will give them this message here. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our hours of operation. So you have a variety of different options here to make this process a little bit faster. So we're going to go ahead and say customer service representatives are available 9 a.m. to let's do 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, and I want to go ahead and set that for all of Monday through Sunday. All right, but let's say, you know what, I don't want to do it. I don't want to work on the weekends, right? So let's go ahead and just remove that. So now this is saying that from Monday through Friday, my customer service representative line will be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so now what will happen is during my hours, when they're asking me a question that is not in the pre-filled questions, it's going to give them this message here, right? And if it's after 6 p.m., but before 9 a.m., they'll get this outside of available hours message. So we definitely want to adjust this outside of available hours. So as you'll see, if they ask a question outside of those 3 questions that we set up for them, this is the response that they're going to get. Hi, we're not currently online, so please send us any information that will help us best assist you, right? Go ahead and modify that however you'd like. The one thing that will definitely add to here is because we want to set customer expectations is to tell them how long it's going to take, right? So let's say, okay, we'll reply within 24 hours. So that is great so that they know, all right, my email is not going into the abyss, right? I'm going to get a reply within 24 hours, okay? So this is the message. So you can go ahead and customize that as you like. And then As well, you can do the one for during the business hours, which is already set for you. Okay. So if you're 9 to 5, you can set this up here. So that this is the message that they're going to get while you're, out getting your coffee, right? All right, awesome. So now your chat setting is all set up. So that brings us to the quick reply panel here. And the quick reply is just that, right? So you create shortcut keys for yourself so that you can quickly reply to the messages from your customers, that especially the ones that you use most frequently, right? So it auto fills for you. So for example, here, if you type in things, it'll auto fill for you. And what your customers say is things. Please let us know if we can help you with anything else. Okay. So you can go ahead and customize these to however you like. You can create your own here, and then just like be right back is another shortcut key that you might want to use. Okay, and then you just go ahead and just click on that save. Remember to save everything here in Shopify. You have to save. All right. And then now you'll have your quick response here. So you can set this up, for example, if customers often ask you if you accept returns or exchanges, then you can create a quick reply that includes a link to any of your store policies. So your exchange, return, shipping, all of that good stuff. So this is your quick reply section. So you can make adjustments to all of the ones that are here. You can keep them or you can use them. If you don't want any of these, you can just simply click on here. And then you can just come down here just a bit here, and then you'll have here the delete the quick reply. And so that is it for your options for your Shopify inbox. Okay, so that is the overview. That is how you install and set up your Shopify inbox. So let's go ahead and go to the front end of the store and see what it all looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on that eye. And all right, of course, my Shopify logo is covering that. Of course it is. So let's go back to the chat settings and let's go ahead and move it for the demonstration purposes. Let's move it to the right. Go ahead and save that. Okay, beautiful. Now let's go ahead and update this. All right, here it is. So let's click on here. Here are all the instant questions that we created. All right, so if we click right on here, let's say we're the customer, we want to click on here, it'll say track my order. And then here is my response. To see your order status, please provide your order details. It knows what to ask for. So I'll go ahead and either enter the information here or just go ahead and click cancel, right? I can come back here and just click on here. What is your shipping details? All right, and we offer free shipping and a 30-day return policy, which is what we already have set up here. And as you can see here, it gives them another opportunity to sign up for your email list, which is always cool. And then you have the option here of typing in something, right? So let's say, what sales, right? What sale do you have? And it's not going to know that question, right? Because we haven't given it a preset answer to that question and no one else has asked that question. So the part of the Shopify magic is that it will remember questions that your customers ask. It'll remember the answer that you gave it. So the next time it won't need for you to answer that question, right? So right now it doesn't know what to answer. So it's going to ask me to enter my information here so that you can reply. Okay. That is how that's going to work here. And then you can change these icons here, right here, but definitely remember to change. I've seen a lot of stores with the chat inbox with the black still on it. I'm not sure why they do that. Make sure to stay on brand and go ahead and change that color to match your website colors, okay? Another thing that we can do is that we can rearrange these questions here, okay? So let's go ahead and jump back into the dashboard and we're gonna go into the chat settings. And then here you can rearrange the way the questions are set, right? So you can change them however you want them. This is how you can do that. And then just remember to save. Okay, so the last part here is let's go into the dashboard, your inbox dashboard. And then the last section I want to show you is the view messages. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in here. So this view messages is your end of the inbox experience, right? So far we've been working on the customer experience, what they see and all of that good stuff, right? So this part is your end, your back end. And this is where you'll see all of the messages in one spot where they'll all come in. Here you have all your open messages. So anything that hasn't been replied to, obviously the ones when you close. Then the filters here is, so when you have a team, right now you're a team of 1. So everything will be assigned to you. But once you start to, your business starts to skyrocket and you grow and you want to add your team members to be able to go ahead and answer those questions in your store, this is where you will go ahead and assign conversations based on whatever topic it is, right? So you can assign, I don't know, maybe returns and exchange questions to one person. You know, if you want to be able to divide those types of tasks, you will be able to do that from here. Okay. And then again, these are just filters, so unassigned and unread. And then we'll come down to the settings here, and then you have a few more things here that you can also do. So here is the notification. So manage how you want to receive your notifications. So you can do that from here. So have my email here. You can do the push notification on mobile and desktop, just emails, both, you know. So you can go through these and decide how you want to receive those notifications, okay? And then here, again, is the same what we've done before. This is just another way to get to your quick replies. And then your message preferences here. So when writing a message, press the enter key and what do you want it to do when you press the enter key? Do you want it to send the message when you press the enter key, or do you want to start a new line? So you can customize that, which is pretty cool. Okay, and we'll go back to the overview. These are the rest of the settings which we have already done. So this is just another way to get to these settings. So you can either get to the settings from your inbox from here, your chat settings, which is the same thing, right? Your availability, your customizations, your quick reply, or you can do it from here under settings. Okay, so it's just 2 different ways to get there. And then of course you have your help center that you can click into that to see more information about this app here.
That's it for Shopify Inbox. I hope that you found this video helpful. Give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what else you would like to learn from me. Until next time, my friends, adios.